Peace. All praise and glory to the mighty Most High. This is White Raptor News Ministries. How is everybody doing? I hope that you're having a pleasant day. May blessings be upon all of you that love and seek the truth. Today we're here at Leviticus 27, redeeming what is the Lord's. Mind you, I need you guys to understand something. The Lord of the Old Testament and the Lord of the New Testament are two different Lords. Duality exists. Okay? Now, there's parables in the Bible that say that the Lord is a man of war. There's parable in the Bibles that say Yahweh is a man of war. And I've been saying anything that is man is not the supreme Spirit of God. This is why the Spirit of God says you're not to invoke the names of other gods or have them heard across your lips. So two different Lords, two different Moseses, two different Jesuses, two different Adams, two different creation stories, two different Bibles. Get it? Two. And I prove everything that I say in these stories. Once you have the outline and you understand what's going on, that there's two races of people. Double mint gum. That's the way it is. Two mints in one. We got two stories going on. That's what we have. So we're redeeming what is the Lord's, and the Lord of the Old Testament, as it says, is Yahweh. Well, I don't worship Yahweh. I just worship the Spirit of truth. That's it. The Spirit of truth. And that's who I put my hope in. That's who I put my trust in, is the Spirit of truth and nothing else. Speak to the Israelites and say to them, again, Israelites are the elites. Okay. Look at the word elite in it, inside the word Israelite. Okay. Israel, this could be a trinity as well, Israel. Because Isis can be short for the Isis, female goddess. Ra could be the sun god. And then El, the supreme God. And you will see these definitions in the Bible that I'm talking to you. I don't speak conjecture. I'm just pointing stuff out. If anyone makes a special vow to dedicate a person to the Lord by giving the equivalent value. So now you're giving a person to the Lord for that person's equivalent value, whatever the value was then, which looks to be set the value of a male between the age of 20 and 60 at 50 shekels. Let me try that again. Set the value of a male between the age of 20 and 60 at 50 shekels of silver, according to the sanctuary shekel. For a female, set her value at 30 shekels. For a person between the age of 5 and 20. Set the value of a male at 20 shekels and the female at 10 shekels. For a person between 1 month and 5 years, set the value of a male at 5 shekels of silver and that of a female at 3 shekels of silver. For a person 60 years old or more, set the value of a male at 15 shekels and of a female at 10 shekels. If anyone makes the vow is too poor to pay the specific amount, the person being dedicated is to be presented to the priest, who will set the value according to what the one making the vow can afford. So even if you're poor, you can make some kind of offering to own a slave. And this is where all the argument comes for the atheists. They bag on this God of the Old Testament because this God of the Old Testament tells us to dash children's heads against rocks and you'll be blessed. It's clearly saying that the slavery and selling other humans to be in slavery over others is okay. But what you've got to understand, folks, is the Supreme Spirit, who is one in all that are connected with the one Supreme Spirit. They understand that slavery and all of this stuff was designed. This isn't something that the Supreme Spirit approves of. This is something that the Supreme Spirit created, which knew would fall from grace and do exactly what it was that it did. This is a spiritual war that's going on, folks. If what they vowed is an animal that is acceptable as an offering to the Lord, such an animal given to the Lord becomes holy. They must not exchange it or substitute a good one for a bad one, or a bad one for a good one. If they should substitute one animal for another, both it and the substitute become holy. If what they vowed is a ceremonially unclean animal, one that is not acceptable as an offering to the Lord, the animal must be presented to the priest, who will judge its quality as good or bad. Whatever value the priest then sets, that is what it will be. If the owner wishes to redeem the animal, a fifth must be added to its value. Before I go any farther here, say them make special vow dedicated to persons to the Lord, giving them equivalent value. Also, this you could start reading into, this is the start of the indoctrination of tithings. Okay, they must exchange, substitute. Give me a second. Back at 14, if anyone dedicates their house as something holy to the Lord, the priest will judge its quality as good or bad. Whatever value the priest then sets, so it will be. If the one who dedicates their house wishes to redeem it, they must add a fifth to its value, and the house will again become theirs. So this, my friends, that is called usury. And the Supreme Spirit is completely against usury. So are you understanding that everything that this Bible is telling us not to do, everybody is doing it in this plane of this realm that we live in? If anyone dedicates to the Lord part of their family land, its value is to be set according to the amount of seed required for it. 50 shekels of silver to a homer of barley seed. If they dedicate a field during the year of Jubilee, the value that has been set remains. But if they dedicate a field after the Jubilee, the priest will determine the value according to the number of years that remain until the next year of Jubilee, and its set value will be reduced. If the one who dedicates the field wishes to redeem it, they must add a fifth to its value, and the field will again become theirs. So isn't that wonderful? Here, we're not going to just give it back to you. Thank you very much for selling it to us for as we needed it. But we're going to go ahead and charge you another fifth on top of that. So a fifth, is this like a fifth of a fifth of 100%? Because that still seems like a high tax rate for property value back then. I don't know. I'm not a realtor. My sister is. She does all that stuff. And the field will become theirs again. If, however, they do not redeem the field, or if they have sold it to someone else, it can never be redeemed. When the field is released in the Jubilee, it will become holy, like a field devoted to the Lord. It will become priestly property. Oh, priestly property. Priestly property. Well, folks, today I don't trust any priest of any religion on anything when it comes to man-made religions. All I trust in is the Supreme Spirit. That's all that you should, excuse me, let me retract that. Not the Supreme Spirit of truth, the living presence of the omnipotent force that moves all things in place. I did all that without giving the Creator a name. The Spirit knows my heart. He knows who I'm talking about, the Spirit of truth. That's what matters. That's what's important. That's what we need to bear witness to, is that God knows our true heart. Jesus said that these people's hearts are far, their lips serve, these people serve me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. Picking back up at 22, if anyone dedicates to the Lord a field they have bought, which is not part of their family land, the priest will determine its value. Always a priest. So you see what I'm talking about? It's always been priest. Everything that evolved in this plane of existence came from priests, came from preachers, came from people of cloth. People of cloth in this plane of existence are the devils. In the year of Jubilee, the field will revert to the person from whom it was bought, the one whose land it was. Every value is to be set according to the sanctuary shekel, 20 gerahs to the shekel. No one, however, may dedicate the firstborn of an animal, since the firstborn already belongs to the Lord. Whether an ox or a sheep, it is the Lord's. If it is one of the unclean animals, it may be bought back at its set value, adding a fifth of the value to it. If it is not redeemed, it is to be sold at its set value. But nothing that a person owns and devotes to the Lord, whether a human being or an animal or family land, may be sold or redeemed. Everything so devoted is most holy to the Lord. No person devoted to destruction may be ransomed. They are to be put to death. Well, no person devoted to destruction. What is this saying here? No person in the military. See, but that's what they do, huh? They do special ops and they hire people and they say, hey man, we'll pay you $2 million to take a crew of you and another fucking 9 people and invade in a country and do a special ops operation and kill people. No person devoted to destruction. Those Navy SEALs, Green Berets, no person devoted to destruction, military, may be ransomed, but they are. They are to be put to death instead, but people ransom these people off all the time. A tithe of everything from the land, whether grain from the soil or fruit from the tree, belongs to the Lord. It is holy to the Lord. So there you go. There's your introduction to tithing. It's the first time that we're coming into tithings now, and this is where they're getting their 10th of everything, 1 tithe of everything, 10th tithe of everything from the land, whether grain or soil from the trees, belong to the Lord. Give me 1 second here. I got to look something up. Yes, so I am correct in what I said. This is a 10th of everything from the land. Okay? And there's an old joke that says in the collection box, they pass the collection box around, and then the priest takes the collection box and he says, Lord, I'm going to throw this money up in the air, and whatever you decide to keep, you just go ahead and take whatever you want out of it, and I'll just take what's left. I know that that's not how the joke is told, but that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Okay, whoever would redeem any of their tithe must add a fifth of the value to it. So now not only are you talking about a 10th, you're talking about another fifth. So now you're at 15%. These people here, they were just as that. It must have been straight taxes back then. Do you think the tax system back then was as refined as it is today? I mean, with all of the taxes that we have today, hundreds of millions of taxes in each different state, it's horrendous. Okay, every tenth of the herd and flock, every tithe of the herd and flock, every 10th animal that passes under the shepherd's rod will be holy to the Lord. No one may pick out the good from the bad, or may any substitute it. If anyone does make a substitution, both the animal and its substitute become holy and cannot be redeemed. These are the commands the Lord gave Moses at Mount Sinai. Sin, A-I. Sin, A-I. I wonder. I'm going to check something out. Give me a second. No, I was going to see if Sinai came to anything close to a 6, but it doesn't. Mount Sinai for Israelites. These are the commands of the Lord that the Lord Moses. These are the commands the Lord gave Moses at Mount Sinai for the Israelites. So we're going to keep this one short, and all praises to the Most High, our Creator, who's one. Folks, what I would offer as advice to anybody is stop going to church, okay? I don't care what church it is, okay? Churches are nothing but shit shows that are played on your emotions, okay? They do absolutely nothing for you. They are users and liars and corrupted priests that are literally trying to drag your ass straight to hell with them, and at the same time laugh and lap up the life of luxury by your donations. If you want to do something for somebody, go get a homeless person off the street and take them to a hotel room and pay for a hotel room for the night. Feed them. Let them get washed. Take him and get him some clothes. Go and spend $100, $200 on him. Get him some new shoes and some socks. Give him a gift card so he can buy some food. Give your money to somebody who needs it, not a church that's requiring 1/10 of your earnings. That's crooked. That's crookedness, okay? All this plane of existence is crooked, folks. Get away from the crookedness. You want to do good deeds, do them directly for other people. Don't take them upon to do these people here. Anyways, that's all I have to say. I hope you have a wonderful day. This is White Raptor News Ministries.